Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. If you have any video that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. In today's video, I would like to tell you the story about Martha. This is all about the induction cooktop. Now, induction cooktop is a kind of a special type of cooktop which is very different from conventional cooktop. The story of Martha started out when she came with her daughter to one of my cooking class before COVID pandemic. She was actually giving a birthday gift to her daughter, and they came to my cooking class to celebrate her birthday. Now, after she saw me how I did my cooking, she was very excited. And Martha is about 80 years old, and she was ready to move into a assisted living alternative. After the cooking class, Martha was very excited about the fast cooking system. She thought that she could do this in her new living situation. So she asked me what is the best way for her to do stir frying. Well, first of all, she has a very small kitchen, and she wants something that is relatively safe. In fact, she doesn't like to use the electric burner there. And consequently, I suggest to her maybe she should get an induction burner, because an induction burner has no open flame, and also the heat is not in the same way as an electric or a gas burner. So it is much safer. But the question is that can you cook food as well in an induction burner as you do in an electric or the conventional gas burner? And the answer is yes. So after Martha got the induction burner, she started to cook many different type of dishes. And it turned out that she became very good at it. And she can cook almost anything that she would like. Now in this video, I would like to demonstrate to cook a meal with the induction burner entirely, to demonstrate the effectiveness of the induction burner and how you make small changes. You can cook the dish as good as any other type of burner. And with a stir frying, you can make very easy adjustment to do the stir frying and create dishes that is delicious and wonderful. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to cook a vegetable medley and together with some salmon. This dish will be a good demonstration of the effectiveness of an induction burner. I'm going to cook this dish in two separate steps. The first step is I'm going to do a shallow frying of the salmon. This will demonstrate the heat capacity of the induction burner to create enough heat that you can sear the salmon. I'm going to use my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok with the induction burner. Not every type of cookware is suitable for induction cooking. The cookware that is required for induction cooking must contain iron. So anything with iron such as cast iron, carbon steel, or stainless steel will be suitable for induction cooking. And the induction plate that I use is a flat induction plate, and which I purchased about probably 15 years ago for about $50. My stainless steel wok is perfect for this purpose because it has a relatively large flat surface area. As you can see in here, it is about the right size of the heating area of the induction burner. Now the method that I'm going to cook the salmon, I call it shallow frying. Basically, I heat up the wok and heat up the oil as much as possible because I want to sear the surface of the salmon. I put the skin of the salmon side down first. This will allow me to fry the skin. And the result is that I will be able to sear the skin and create a crispy texture. And this is what makes the salmon taste really good. Now, quite often, one important thing to take in consideration is that you want the oil to be hot enough, at least initially, when you put the salmon down onto the surface of the wok. And before I put the salmon down, I heat the oil to the smoking point and I let it smoke for about 15 seconds. And this is time when the wok is being seasoned. And I call this method the spot seasoning method. And you can take a look at this video and learn more about this approach. So some people have concern whether the induction plate is hot enough as in comparison to a gas burner or an electric burner. As you can see here, there's no problem in actually causing the skin of the salmon to char. So clearly, the induction burner has enough heat capacity. Now this induction burner is rated at 1500 watts, which is about the same wattage you will find in most of the induction plate on the market. The important thing to keep in mind is that you need to control the heat slightly differently. Now the induction plate has one advantage, is that it allows you to shut the heat on and off almost instantly, and which is quite different from an electric burner, because electric burner, even though you turn down the heat will continue to exist. The next is that the salmon is almost done. I'm going to put some mushroom onto the wok. And this is important because this will allow the temperature to be moderated by the mushroom. And now the salmon is pretty sealed, so now I can use my wok spatula to stir fry everything together. Now this is an important step. If the salmon is not properly sealed and you use the wok spatula, it will break up the salmon. But in this case, you notice that the salmon stay all in one place. So as you can see here, the induction plate has no problem in providing sufficient heat to cook the salmon. And if you look at what I cook here compared to if I cook on my regular glass or electric stove or in my high power gas burner, I don't think you will be able to see that much difference in the outcome of this cooking approach. So quite confidently, I would say the induction plate does a really good job. And the last step is that I'm going to put in some scallions, and this will help me to garnish the salmon and provide it a nice onion flavor. So far so good. I have no problem and no complaint with my induction burner. In fact, if you look at what I cook here, you probably will not be able to tell the difference between using the induction burner versus using a gas burner or an electric burner. At the last step, I put some oyster sauce to provide a light seasoning to the salmon. Okay, now the dish is done. I'm going to set it aside because the next step is I'm going to stir fry some vegetable to go with this salmon. So the next step, I'm going to demonstrate to you how well if you use the induction burner to cook a vegetable medley dish. Now here I'm going to demonstrate what I call combinatory stir frying, which I cook the salmon separately from the vegetable because both of these food ingredients require slightly different cooking approach, and in using them cooking separately, I will be able to cook them to the desired texture that I want. This is a convenient way to create a complex dish with all the ingredients to cook to exactly the texture and doneness that you would like. Now with the vegetable medley dish, I'm going to use a sequential stir frying technique, which I'm going to cook each of the ingredients based on how long I want to cook them and add them to the wok at an appropriate time point. I'm first going to start to stir fry some Brussels sprout because the Brussels sprout takes the longest time to cook. And this is followed by the addition of some broccoli. Now using this method, you will be able to cook each of the ingredients to the exact texture that you want. So right now, everything goes really well. In fact, the induction plate does such a good job, and it has excellent control for temperature. One of the greatest advantages of an induction plate is heat controlled. You can adjust the temperature precisely, and in this case, this induction plate has several different levels for the heat adjustment, and that makes it very easy. And because of its electronic control, the heat is instant by adding the amount of heat that you want by simply dial up. And you can reduce the amount of heat that also by dialing down. And it's very different from an electric burner, which the heat will persist. But this way, you can control the heat instantly. Another advantage of an induction plate, which I have not really used very much, is time control. You can set amount of the time that you want it to cook. So it gives you, again, a lot of precision. So it is great for if you want to cook anything that requires a certain time, so you don't have to check it all the time. And next, I add some mushroom to the wok. I have already cut the mushroom into thin slices. Since I want to cook the mushroom lightly, therefore I add it to the latter part of the cooking process. And this is the benefit of a sequential stir-frying technique, because you can cook the ingredients depending on how long you want to cook them. And by adding them at different time, you have much precise control of their texture as well as their doneness. For example, I like mushroom to be relatively firm, and so for this purpose, by adding them later during the cooking process is definitely a good strategy. So far so good. I have no problem in terms of the amount of heat that I want to use, and along the way, I have made fine adjustments by adjusting the heat output. This again, to me, is a great advantage of an induction burner. Now, the induction burner cooks it very different in terms of mechanism as compared to heat that produced by gas or by electric. In the case of induction cooking, the heat actually are generated by a rotating magnet that changed the nature of the food, and through this rotation, it causes friction and it generates heat. And then, last but not the least, I'm going to put in some purple cabbage. Again, the purple cabbage, because I want it to have a only light flavor or a more crispy texture, and that's why I added toward the end. Okay, finally the dish is almost done. I'm going to add some colored bell pepper to garnish the dish. The colored bell pepper will bring color to the vegetable medley. And this is one of the beauty of using this cooking method, because you can add many different kinds of vegetable to your vegetable medley. And with advanced prepping, you can choose whatever you want. And this will allow you to cook with efficiency without having to prep everything before you cook. Okay, now the dish is almost done. So I'm going to finish up cooking this dish by using seasoning a combination of oyster sauce and hoisin sauce. Okay, the dish is done. The vegetable medley turned out exactly the way how I would like it. And at the same time, I don't think I can tell much of difference in terms of the outcome of the dish. As you can see in here, the doneness of the dish as well as the speed in cooking this dish is really not that much difference if I have been using either my gas stove or my electric burner. So from this standpoint, the induction burner turned out to be really successful. Now, Martha really enjoyed using her induction burner because she feels much safer since there's no open flame. And furthermore, the heat actually only surrounded the cooking vessel and also the food ingredients. In fact, you can touch the surface of the induction plate and you find it that it's totally cool. So I do think induction burner for a lot of people is a solution, particularly when they live in a tight space. Actually, I do think induction burner probably is the future of cooking. Okay, I hope this gives you some idea about using an induction plate. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system. If you'd like to learn more about this cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.